On Saturday, thousands of people rallied again on the steps of the state capitol. Among those who took the microphone was Academy Award-winning filmmaker Michael Moore.
America is not broke. Contrary to what those in power would like you to believe, so that you'll give up your pension, cut your wages, and settle for the life your great-grandparents had, America is not broke. Not by a long shot. The country is awash in wealth and cash. It's just that it's not in your hands. It has been transferred in the greatest heist in history from the workers and consumers to the banks and the portfolios of the uber rich. Right now, this afternoon, just 400 Americans, 400, have more wealth than half of all Americans combined. Let me say that again. And please, someone in the mainstream media, just repeat this fact once. We're not greedy. We'll be happy to hear it just once. 400 obscenely wealthy individuals. 400 little Mubaraks. Most of whom benefited in some way from the multi-trillion-dollar taxpayer bailout of 2008, now have more cash, stock, and property than the assets of 155 million Americans combined. It is a shame. If you can't bring yourself to call that a financial coup d'etat, then you are simply not being honest with what you know in your heart to be true. But I can see why people don't want to even think about this. For us to admit that we have let a small group of men abscond with and hoard the bulk of the wealth that runs our economy would mean that we'd have to accept the humiliating acknowledgement that we have indeed surrendered our precious democracy to the moneyed elite. Wall Street, the banks, and the Fortune 500 now run this republic. And until this past month, here in Madison, Wisconsin, the rest of us, until then, have felt completely helpless, unable to find a way to do anything about it. Now, just like your soon-to-be ex-governor, I have nothing more than a high school education. But, Governor Walker, back when I was in school, every student had to take one semester of economics in order to graduate. And here's what I learned. Money doesn't grow on trees. Unless it's a palm tree. It grows when we make things. It grows when we have good jobs with good wages that we use to buy the things we need. And guess what? That creates more jobs. But Wisconsin is not broke. It's one of the three biggest lies of the last decade. What are the three biggest lies? Let's repeat them. Number one, Wisconsin is broke. Number two, there's weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. And number three, the Packers need Favre in order to win the Super Bowl. The nation is not broke, my friends. There's lots of money to go around. Lots. Lots. It's just that those in charge have diverted that wealth into a deep well that sits on their well-guarded estates. They know that they have committed crimes to make this happen. And they know that someday you may want to see some of that money that used to be yours. So they have bought and paid for hundreds of politicians across the country to do their bidding for them. But just in case that doesn't work, they've got their gated communities. They've got their luxury jet that's always fully fueled, the engine's running, waiting for that day that they hope never comes. To help prevent that day when the people, demand their country back, the wealthy have done two very smart things. Number one, they control the message. By owning the media, they have expertly convinced many Americans of few means to buy their version of the American dream and vote for their politicians. Their version of the dream says that you too might be rich someday. This is America, where anything can happen if you just apply yourself. They have conveniently provided you with believable examples to show you how a poor boy can become a rich man. How the child of a single mother in Hawaii can become president of the United States. And how a guy with a high school education can become a successful filmmaker. Don't fall for it. They will play these stories for you over and over and over again all day long, so that the last thing you'll want to do is upset the apple cart. Because yes, you too might be rich, president, Oscar winner someday. The message, though, is clear. Keep your head down. Keep your nose to the grindstone. Don't rock the boat. Be sure to vote for the party that protects the rich man that you might be someday. And here's the second smart thing the wealthy have done. They've created a poison pill that they know you will never want to take. It's their version of mutually assured destruction. And when they threatened to release this weapon of mass economic annihilation in September of 2008, we blinked. As the economy and the stock market went into a tailspin, and the banks were caught conducting a worldwide Ponzi scheme, Wall Street issued this threat: either hand over trillions of dollars from the American taxpayers, or we will crash this economy straight into the ground. Crash it straight into the ground. There's a word for that, isn't there? Terrorism.